you are vaccinated against the mumps? How many of you with children are vaccinated or other loved ones are vaccinated? CNN News reports that mumps cases are at their highest level in 10 years. What does that mean? Those of you who are not vaccinated are at risk. Well, some of you may ask, what is mumps? Mumps is a contagious disease caused by a virus that is spread through saliva and mucus. Since the development of vaccines, the cases were decreasing by 99%, but now that more and more people are not vaccinating their children, the outbreaks are at a rise. Mumps can cause complications in adults, such as deafness, inflammation of the brain, ovaries, breast tissues, and testicles, and they do not respond to antibiotics. How can we fix this problem? By vaccinating our children. Vaccinating our children is very important. It protects our children against many diseases and it saves our children's lives. Many children were injured or killed by the thousands due to diseases many years ago, per vaccines.gov. Many children are unable to be vaccinated due to being too young, such as newborn babies, people with immune disorders, allergies to vaccines, those who are going and those who are going through radiation therapy. It is a requirement per the CDC.gov website by schools and daycare centers that you vaccinate your children in order for them to attend these public locations. If your child is unvaccinated and they become ill with a preventable disease, they are not allowed to take public transportation such as a train, a plane, or a bus until a doctor has you have obtained proof from a doctor that they are no longer contagious. So you lose a lot of time and money due to your loved one becoming ill and having to be hospitalized or even possibly losing their life completely because you chose not to vaccinate them. If your child is not vaccinated, you also experience issues with enrolling them in school, and some tend to decide to wait until then to try to vaccinate their child. Now, when you do this, you put your child through a situation where they have to do a testing schedule. And with this, your child tends to have to obtain multiple vaccinations during that one visit, frequent time, just to catch up to be vaccinated with the vaccinated vaccinations that are required for school. And they also have a tendency to not be vaccinated against certain diseases because they passed the age limit of where this disease, where this immunization is required or is allowed to be given. Many people say vaccines are extinct, or because of that, my child doesn't need them. That is not true. Because of vaccinations, this is possible that that diseases are extinct. But if more and more people decide to think like you and not vaccinate their child, the disease can return to the US. As we do have more and more people that travel to all over the world to many countries who have not got rid of these diseases, or the diseases are very popular. There's also another rumor vaccines cause autism. This is not true, per the website poison.org. Research studies have been done since 1998 to prove that the vaccines do not cause autism. Autism tends to be developed at the age of 2, and there have been cases where children have never been vaccinated, yet they still develop autism, which shows there is no true correlation between autism and vaccines. Now, imagine this. You are in a crowded room full of people, let's say a concert, with only 60% of these people are vaccinated against meningitis. You are one of those people that are not vaccinated. There are two people with bacterial meningitis and they are not vaccinated. and you have a child at home who is too young to be vaccinated, and you may not even plan on having them vaccinated. The person with meningitis is in close contact with you. After the concert, you go home to your child, unaware that you may have developed meningitis, as the symptoms have not developed. But you go home to your child and you now possibly spread meningitis to your child, along with the other 40% of the people who weren't vaccinated at this concert who may have also developed this disease just from those two people in that concert who had meningitis who had not yet discovered that they had developed meningitis. And now this is when the outbreaks occur and more cases develop. Let's look at another situation. You're at a restaurant and your server is hepatitis B positive. You're vaccinated because your parents had you vaccinated as a child. But due to all the stigmas and unfactual information, you don't believe that it's necessary to vaccinate your children. So your children aren't vaccinated against hepatitis B. Your server is not practicing good hand hygiene, yet you aren't aware of this as you are not with this server as you're going to and from the bathroom. Your child is now faced at risk of developing hepatitis B, as this server is coming in contact with the plates and dishware that your child is using to eat. And this is all because you chose not to vaccinate your child and protect them from situations like this. We see these stories all the time on the news where someone is positive for hepatitis, and some of the restaurant guests are now exposed and developed hepatitis as well due to them not following protocol and vaccinating themselves or children. And no one wants hepatitis. It can do severe damage to your liver and possibly lead to death. My last scenario for you is this. Your child is unvaccinated and is at the playground. Your child has the chickenpox. A child of whom your child is playing with is allergic to the vaccine, so they are unable to be vaccinated, and their mother is 14 weeks pregnant. Your child just so happens to have chickenpox, but you guys have not become aware of it yet, as the signs have not completely showed. Your child passes the chickenpox on to this child that they are playing with. And of course, this mother is taking care of her child. Her child, she develops the chickenpox from her child, and she has never had the chickenpox, nor has she ever been vaccinated. This mother now faces a risk of stillbirth and a miscarriage. Put yourself in her shoes. How would you feel if someone chose not to vaccinate their child and put you and your child and unborn child at risk? Don't be that. Vaccinate your child. Vaccines are very important. They protect your children. It can save your child's life and the lives of others. Vaccines are safe. Thank you for listening.